Hey y'all, Rick, Fearless, Strokers Dallas, Strokers Ice House, Punch Wally Garage, Fearless Services. Good morning. How you doing? All right? Today is Thursday, April the 3rd, 2025, year of our Lord, season number 3, episode number 93. In today's show, we will talk about A.W. Everett. Let's go. In my life, the 365 Project, coming to you almost live from almost downtown Dallas in the powerful CHUMP studio. Today's show is brought to you by Reliable Diamond Tool, that's ready2.com, REDITOO.com. Check them out for concrete and masonry working tools. Also brought to you by Simpson Motorcycle Helmets. If you got a $100 head, you should wear a $100 helmet. But if your head is priceless, like mine, you should wear a Simpson. They are the best. We are a dealer, StrokersDallasMerch.com. Spire Construction, Inc. They are a full-scale residential general contractor. They do everything from your roof to your floor to your heating and air conditioning. They'll build you a bathroom. What you got? Call up there, talk to my son-in-law. His name is Elliot, and tell them I sent you, and they'll take good care of you. SpireConstructionInc.com. Maverick Harley Davidson, Longhorn Harley Davidson, the official Harley dealers for Strokers Dallas and Strokers Ice House. Check those fine folks out. So turn off the news. It ain't nothing but bad news anyway. Let's me and you take a stroll down memory lane. Today, the Mr. Peabody Wayback Machine goes back to 1976. In 1976, I went to work for Roach Paint Company. Started in the warehouse, did a good job, and after 2 or 3 months, they moved me up to the 5th floor. When I started, I was pulling paint orders. So you're pulling 5-gallon buckets and then boxes of 4 gallons for the stores. Whatever they sold the day before, we refurbished on a daily basis. So it was a lot of heavy lifting. On the 5th floor was where they kept the sundries, like brushes, roller covers, putty knives, caulking compounds, lighter stuff, but more expensive stuff. Excuse me. So they transferred me up there, and there were 2 guys that worked up there. One guy's name was Richard, and he was the second guy. And the guy in charge name was A.W. Everett. And A.W. Everett was quite the character, and I loved the old guy. He was a World War II veteran, and after I'd worked there for a while, Jay Bird, or one of the guys, was telling me that A.W. Everett had been wounded in the war, World War II. And I asked him about it, and he said, yeah. And I said, what happened? And he said, he was one of the American heroes that stormed the beach at Normandy. And he said bullets were popping, and, they're laying in the sand, and they're digging foxholes, and, there's just fires coming in from everywhere. And he said he got wounded in his thigh. And I said, was it pretty bad? He dropped his pants, and his whole inner thigh was just scar tissue. It was just mangled right through here. And he pulled his pants up, and I'm like this, and he said, yeah, it was a pretty bad deal. And I said, my God, I never knew you had that. And he said, no, I've learned to live with it. But I'll never forget that. When it was quitting time, See, back in those days, you could drink and drive. And he drove a big old, I forget, I think it was a Lincoln Town Car. And we got off at 3:30. He would go straight to his car, pop the trunk. He'd pull out a six-pack. He'd sit there with his hand up against the truck, leaning there. He'd pop that. He'd drink a beer. He'd sit there and talk to anybody that was walking around. He'd throw the empty can in there. He'd drink another beer. He'd throw the can in there, and then he'd take the other 4 beers and get in the car, and those were for the way home. It's guys like that that you work with that teach you to be on time, because he was always on time. They teach you how to work hard because he always worked hard. So you learned it by emulating what they did. All right, let's check that chuck. Check that chuck, you big one. Woo, look at those. You got some of those CX chucks on. They're comfortable, man. You got silver and red. Kind of a clear toe, clear sole. Invisible racing stripes, 2 vent hose, puffy white shoestrings, 1 eye down, double knotted for safety. These are, say it with me now, these are some handsome chucks. You want to check the office? I do. So there's my #1 selling hat. That's mine. That is a Strokers Dallas Flex Fit. That's the OG. We've got them with this. I think we also have them with my logo on the back. They are Flex Fit. Check those out. Strokers Dallas Merch.com. Bunch of new hats. What was Grandma Goldie doing 76 years ago today? April 3rd, 1949 was a Sunday. Grandma wrote, Dick went hunting this morning. This evening we went to Shines. I gave Dixie a permanent. Okay, what about 65 years ago today? What was Grandma Goldie doing April 3rd, 1960? It was a Sunday. Charles and I went to church for dinner. That's lunch. Jim and Bonnie, Clarence and Dorma Lee, Grandma Fairless, Dee and Everett, Ken and Barbara came over tonight. Chrissy and Ethel also have Brymer for supper. I don't know what Brymer is, but that's a lot of people on a Sunday. A lot of entertaining out there in the country. Guess you ain't got no TV, you got to entertain. Dad joke, why do cows wear cowbells? Because their horns don't work. Get off the couch, a motivational minute. Wake up determined, go to bed satisfied. Well, in a perfect world, that's what we want to do. It's not a perfect world, so do the best that you can do. Tonight is midget wrestling. If you've never been, it's a blast. It's not so much about the wrestling, and the wrestling is fantastic. It's about the show. It's about the interaction with the crowd. It's about the music they play that gets everybody pumped up. They put on a show. That's tonight. Next weekend, April the 11th through the 13th, is the Spring Fling. We're bringing in some big bands. We'd love for you to come out and see us. On Sunday, the band is called Destroyer, and it's a Kiss tribute band. They are pretty dang good. They're pretty good and pretty expensive. You should come out and check those guys out. On April 26th, it's the Vikla Show. Those are Cholo bikes, and I mean, these are some bad dudes. Bikes are bad dudes now. They're beautiful. And April 29th, we have the Midget Burlesque. We got a busy April there, son. Yeah, so I want y'all to come see us starting tonight. All right, Rick Fearless Fairless, I got to go. Yeah, there ain't no place like this place. Remember that. Love you, Alice. Bye, y'all. See you tomorrow.